Good morning, my name is Kinsey Hayes and I'm a student at Northeastern and I'm here to give you a presentation over the Beck Mill. It was a time of covered wagons where homes were built out of sod walls and dirt floors, a time of U.S. Marshals and Cherokee sovereignty, while the Civil War was still fresh after its end. Nestled on Flint Creek in Delaware County stands the Beck Mill. The events which took place at the Beck Mill in February of 1872 led to the Going Snake Massacre. This is important to you because it informs you about an event which took place in Delaware County. The Becks acquired the mill during 1850. Polly Beck was married to Peter Hildebrand after acquiring the mill. Peter Hildebrand was killed during the Civil War. Polly Beck became the sole owner of the mill. In 1890, a flood washed away the original mill, later causing the reconstruction of the now Beck Mill. A small portion of this mill still stands today. I know this because I live directly across the creek from the mill. Now that we know the Beck Mill location and its background, let's discuss a major event of its history, which is the murder of the Beck Mill. Polly Beck continued to run the mill after her husband's death. She hired a man named Frank Keisterson. It is believed that the two became romantically involved and Keisterson had left his wife and children for Polly Beck. Zeke Proctor was very unhappy about the affair in the Beck family. Zeke was Keisterson's current brother-in-law, and Keisterson had abandoned his wife and children. According to the bloodbath at Going Snake, the Cherokee courtroom shootout at HistoryNet.com, published in 2006 on February 13, 1872, Zeke Proctor showed up to the Beck Mill where there was confrontation and the shooting occurred. The story states that Zeke was threatening to kill Keisterson. Zeke drew his gun from his holster and fired a shot towards Keisterson, when Polly jumped in front of the bullet and was instantly killed. Now that we know there was a murder, let's examine the outcomes, which is the Bloody Massacre. The Becks were Cherokee and the Proctors were Kituah. The Becks supported the Confederacy while the Proctors supported the Union. This complicated the situation even further. The Kituah tribe supported the old ways against white men. They rallied tightly against Proctor because Zeke Proctor was a U.S. Marshal and had a different version of the story. It was told that he was there on official business to warn Polly Beck about her animals getting out on other people's property. Therefore, there was a jurisdictional dispute over how Zeke would be charged. Trouble was brewing stronger between the families, and rumors were swirling about the upcoming trial. In this time of history, weapons were allowed in the courtroom. The Becks were a large family, and so were the Proctors, and there was trouble promised. As the trial began, the mob of people outside began to get angry, and Surrey Beck barged through the door and started firing shots towards Zeke Proctor. When the shots were over, 11 men were killed, including 2 U.S. Marshals, along with members of the Beck family, including Polly Beck's brother, Black Sut. Zeke was only wounded. According to Uncle Sam's Treaty with One Man by the Encyclopedia of Oklahoma History and Culture, published in 2009, Zeke Proctor walked away a free man. The government agreed not to try him for the murder as long as he agreed to be a law-abiding citizen for the rest of his life. Zeke held up his end until he died in February of 1907. With all of this information, let's wrap this up. The events which took place at the Beck Mill in February of 1872 led to the Going Snake Massacre. The true reasons behind what happened that day on the banks of Flint Creek will remain a secret between the mill and its water. Today, we learned about the origination of the Beck Mill, the murder which took place there, and finally, the Bloody Massacre. Here is a visual of the Beck Mill. Thank you for your time.